Hello everyone. Today we're looking at this Haskell Victorian Railways NA class in ON30 scale. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kiln Line. This time we're looking at something down under and we're looking at the Haskell Victorian Railways NA class. This one is in apple green and is numbered 4A. Now I've been told from the owner of this locomotive, it isn't me, Pedantic Mongrels Modelling Dan, that this locomotive has been renumbered as a what if locomotive rather than one that's a running example. This particular locomotive was scrapped as a compound, so this locomotive is entirely fictitious, but it's still great nonetheless. On the end of the box you can see exactly what we're getting. It was £270. I'm not sure whether that was DCC sound fitted for that price, but if it was, that'd be blooming amazing. It's a ON30 rather than NG7, so it's slightly out of scale for what I've got here, but it looks about right with the manning wardles. So we'll take off the lid off the box and we'll get the locomotive out. It's in their nice ice cube packaging. Got some paperwork at the bottom which we'll have a look at in a second. Tell you what, we'll do that now so we can get out of the way and concentrate on the locomotive. So this is basically just the information for the loco. Telling about the saying that it's from the Puffing Bill Railway in Melbourne, Australia. Basically just going through all the gubbins of what it actually is and the scale, and yeah. This is going on to the Tsunami 2 digital sound decoder. This got a fair few functions, as you'll find out in the sound segment of this video. It's got lighting. It tells you how to install it. But it's already installed, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so it gives you all the information regarding the sound decoder. This is basically just going through some more functions. Oh, that's a lot of functions. Wow. That is a lot of functions on the different CVs, but we are going to concentrate on the ones on this particular information today. So let's have a look at the locomotive itself. We'll slide it out of the outer packaging. Put that back in the box over there, and then we'll take it out of the ice cube. First impressions of this locomotive so far is that it's quite light compared to the manning wardles, but it is full to the brim with details. Look at that. I love the valve gear on this and the wheels hidden behind the frames like that, but you can still see the wheels. That's one of the nice bits about when this thing's running. The pony wheels are really nicely detailed as well. They're inside their own separate frames. Have a look on the other side as well. Yeah, it's a lovely model. It's a lovely, lovely model. We'll have a look at that closer up in a second. Underneath we have a fair few added extras. So we've got a detailed pack there, which looks like it's got toolboxes and handrails. Some spare cables, not sure what that's for, and what looks like number plates as well. So you've got all your different etched number plates in there that are fixed to the side of the pack. Okay, now we've had a look at that, let's have a look at the locomotive a bit closer in detail on a piece of track, shall we? Yeah, it's a very nice engine. And now here we are back on the workbench. You can tell straight off the bat that this thing is ever so slightly weathered. The paint job is slightly dulled on the tanks and around the cab, which it just gives it that little bit more atmosphere as though this locomotive has been working. Just looks like it's just covered itself in ash, which is lovely, and it just gives this locomotive a bit more authenticity. From the front of the locomotive first, you'll notice it's got knuckle couplings, which is not common on British narrow gauge. So I have had to make a particular wagon for this thing to be able to pull my stuff, as you'll see in the videos. So I've got a knuckle coupling this end and a tension lock on the back. So you'll see that with the train formations in the running videos. But let's make our way up the locomotive. You have the boiler support bars there and some lamps at the front as well. But the big one is above the smoke box. That one works. These two do not. And you've got the cow catcher on the front, which is also a lovely thing that tends to happen a lot on narrow gauge locomotives. The Manning Wardles have them too. We'll work our way along the side of the locomotive. The cylinders are very nicely detailed with a little bit of lining on them. I'm not sure what that is. I think that might just be somewhere that the people can stand on when they're cleaning the locomotive. Got the valve gear underneath. And then we've got number plates. We've got the builder's plate on the side. And this locomotive even has fitted crew, which is also a very nice touch. We look at the top, we have the safety valves whistle, and a really nice copper capped funnel, which is lovely. A very Great Western of them. Looking from the back of the locomotive now, you can see that massive headlamp on the back of the bunker, which is seems to be prototypical on these locomotives, but it just means they're going to be seen, which is always nice. Again, we've got a buckeye on the back, cow catcher, lamps, and real coal added. This locomotive is just full to the brim with detail. I mean, you've got your air tanks under here as well, and you just got the same details that are on the other side. Handrails. You got your toolbox at the front on the front running board. It's just a wonderful looking locomotive, and it's one of those that I really want to add it to my collection, but I'd have to get rolling stock to go with it. But this is such a lovely locomotive, and it runs superbly as well. You can see inside the cab that you've also got some controls in there. I don't think the cab roof lifts off. No, it doesn't. But you can see some of the levers. You can see the back head of the boiler as well. Yeah, this locomotive is a really nice bit of kit. Shall we see how much it weighs? Let's see what we think it can pull as well. Okay, so we're at the scales. We're going to weigh the NA, but I also want to weigh X again, because I want to see what the weight difference is between the two, and I haven't got the video that I've produced on the Manning Wardles to hand. So what we're going to do is going to weigh them both. So we will go from there, and I'll put the track on there just so we've got something to put the locomotive on. Allow it to calibrate. Put the NA on. That's a nice 340 grams. You know, that's not too bad. It's pretty good. Then we'll put X on. 450. So it is a bit more, but the NA should be able to pull relatively well. I've just put the NA back on. I did it off camera purely because a really noisy moped who refused to change gear kept going past my house. So that was really annoying. But anyway, let's get back to the model. The Manning Wardles can pull about 9 coaches. This one could probably pull about 6, I think, if not maybe more. It'd have to pull the wagon itself, which is really light. This weighs probably about 85 grams. So I reckon it'd pull that and 5 coaches really easily up the incline. But yeah, shall we get this locomotive down to the track and see what sound functions it has then? The Kiln Line is proudly sponsored by CB Models. Based in North Devon, CB Models are an amazing manufacturer of 3D printed scale models for your model railway and scale diorama needs. They have a whole range of 3D printed accessories and can make bespoke items for that impossible to obtain piece. They also ship internationally. So check out CB Models over on their Instagram, Facebook, eBay or their website to see what they have to offer. Okay, let's see what this locomotive sounds like. Well, now we've heard what this locomotive sounds like, let's take her for a run. In summary, firstly, I want to say a huge thank you to Dan at Pedantic Mongrels Modelling for the opportunity to borrow, run and make a video on this locomotive. It's truly a credit to his model collection. The locomotive itself is incredibly detailed. The weathering job on this locomotive is done very well, showing this locomotive in a used condition that helps the details pop in all the right ways. The sounds on this Tsunami decoder are very good too, giving very good variety of sounds through a very capable speaker. My absolute favourite being the whistle. There's just something about those chimes. It also prompted me to make the barrier wagon, which will come in useful in the future when we see other locomotives from the ON30 range pop up on the Kiln Line. Who knows when that will happen. The locomotive is a very capable puller too, proving to be able to pull the service trains with ease up the steep incline on the unballasted section of the layout. All in all, this locomotive has been a welcome addition to the fleet while it's been here on hire, giving the manual models a run for their money and even putting one of them out of service for a while. Sorry, X. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell and even comment if you want to see or hear more from the Kiln Line.